Good afternoon. It's Thursday, November 15. I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. If you're watching online at onespotmedia.com, a special welcome to you. The 6-member jury is now deliberating the fate of Police Constable Collis Chucky Brown, who prosecutors have accused of being a member of a police death squad. The jury retired at 11:25 after trial judge Vivian Harris completed her summary of the case. Constable Brown is on trial for 5 indictments, 3 counts of murder, conspiracy to murder, and wounding with intent. Prosecutors allege that between 2009 and 2012, Constable Brown was a member of a death squad behind the fatal shooting of Demoy Gotti Dawkins, Dwayne Douglas, and Andrew Ferron. The men were reportedly gang members in Clarendon who were targeted by the death squad. Constable Brown denied being part of the death squad. He denied knowing about the shooting of Mr. Dawkins and told the jury that Mr. Douglas and Mr. Ferron were killed in a legitimate police operation. The police have confirmed that the wanted man killed during Monday's operation in Richmond Hill, St. James, was Richard Anderson, otherwise known as Cruz. He was killed while reportedly engaging the police in a shootout. The police and army were searching for Delano Wilmot, also called Preke, the leader of the Ratty gang. Mr. Wilmot is accused of numerous crimes, including shootings and armed robberies. The police say Mr. Wilmot is linked to the shooting of 2 soldiers in Richmond Hill just over a month ago. Mr. Wilmot reportedly took control of the gang when its original leader, Ryan Ratty Perkins, or rather Peterkin, was killed by the security forces earlier this year. The pace of the major roadworks now taking place in the corporate area could be significantly slowed as telecommunications company Flow has taken legal action against the National Works Agency, NWA, and China Harbor Engineering Company, CHEC, to stop them from interfering with their cables. Flow has applied to the Supreme Court for an injunction to restrain the NWA and CHEC from destroying, altering, or moving any of their vital equipment on all the major roads now under modification. TVJ's Ashane Masters reports.
The court action is a culmination of months of tension between the entities based on several disruptions in service due to the alleged damage to underground cables, conduits, and wires by work crews. The disruption has affected the company's ability to deliver its services to both private and commercial customers, and this has also exposed Flow to possible action taken by these customers. In the application, Flow has named the National Works Agency and the China Harbor Engineering Company Limited, CHEC, and the Attorney General as defendants. It wants a court to order them to immediately stop removing, rerouting, destroying, relocating or altering its fiber optic cables, copper wires, conduits, and related apparatus, contrary to its right-of-way granted by the government. Flow has also asked that in the alternative, the court should order that none of the roadworks affecting its equipment should be done without Flow's supervision. Flow claims that since 2016, NWA and CHEC have carried out work on several roads which has caused significant damage to several of its underground apparatus. This damage has caused physical loss and commercial losses due to disruption of services to several thousand customers. Flow asserts that this damage is due to the negligence of NWA and CHEC, who have been carrying out the works in a reckless manner. A date has not yet been set for the hearing of the injunction, and with an injunction being an interim remedy, a claim is expected to be filed soon. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, the government says it has not yet received court documents of the injunction. Telecommunications company Flow said they filed in the Supreme Court to take action against both the NWA and CHEC to stop them from interfering with their cables. Attorney General Marlene Malahoo Fort spoke with our news center this morning.
Flow had a meeting yesterday, and it was yesterday for the first time we learned that the suit had been filed. Up to then, I have not seen the documents.
And PSO President Howard Mitchell says he is not surprised by Flow Jamaica's legal action.
While we are in support generally of this kind of infrastructure improvement, we recognize it as progress. We are pretty sure that it could have been managed better than it is being managed. We have seen the Chinese that work in their own country. We have seen them in other countries. And we suspect, well, we know that's not how they operate in those other countries. So it is not surprising that somebody has decided to bring them before a Jamaican court.
Mr. Mitchell is, however, concerned about the implications for the road projects.
We really hope that it does not delay the work in any material way, because we know that the country will suffer from that. But we also hope that this will bring not only the contractors, but the managers of the contractors, the National Works Agency, to their senses and allow for better management, better work procedures, better work protocols in what has been a very difficult time for many of our members. So that we are watching it. We have not had a fulsome discussion with Flow, and as I say, we are understanding of their position, and we hope that something can be arrived at by negotiation before too much time passes.
Several councillors at the St. Ann Municipal Corporation continue to raise concerns about the lack of streetlights across that parish. The councillors stressed the need for an urgent meeting with the management of the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS. TVJ Shamela Pullen reports.
The lights are not working, and where you had one working, them teeth it off.
The lack of street lights has been a long-standing issue for residents living in St. Ann. Councillor for the Bensonton Division in St. Ann, Lydia Richards, says despite calls for the lights to be fixed, very little has been done.
About 90% of lights, every light in Yarkestle and Gravelly not working, every single one. On the road to the Fort George School, every single one not working. And if I can call out the district to where, so I don't know, I can't find no light working in my division, and I am not joking. This is serious.
The Jamaica Public Service Company had previously stated that its ability to fix non-functioning streetlights was being hampered by the failure of the government to clear its arrears. But Councillor for the Exchange Division, Ian Isaac, says with the government having significantly reduced its debt to the JPS, the company needs to move quickly to fix the problem.
The minister announced that since its 2 years in government, it has paid off the $7 billion owed to JPS. Are we now in the position to receive the streetlights that we have been asking for? Will this Christmas come where we will see all the streets properly lit?
I'm aware of the payment that was done. I'm not aware that it's been done in their entirety. Yes. But what I can tell you is, I am not aware. I'm not aware of the entirety. What I can say that the allocation that we have got and the communication that we have received is that we will be able to fix these 12,000 streetlights by the end of the first quarter.
Operations Manager for JPS in St. Ann, Devon Willis, assured the councillors that repair activities will continue within the areas impacted. Mr. Willis says he's hoping that it will be completed before year end.
So I can't say everywhere will be lit, but on a database and what will be actually is all lights that are needed of repair within the area. The LED process that I put in place before, and the additional street lights properly lit all areas that should be will be allocated in the 2019 of 25,000 street lights.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Residents of Hamilton Gardens in St. Catherine are breathing a bit easier as the government has promised to fix the roads in their community. The residents complained that the poor state of the roads have been affecting their livelihood.
Feel like we were neglected in the past when other roads were being fixed, and this has been a road that has been in a deplorable condition for a very long time. As a matter of fact, this road have never been rehabilitated since the inception of the scheme.
Primarily, the community would love to have a community center, but based on the scientific approach to it, we have identified roads as one of our big problems, and as such, we intend to ensure that we rally around that happening for the community.
Rehabilitation is part of the government's initiative through partnership with the National Housing Trust and other stakeholders to enhance several communities across the island. The Ward Theatre in downtown Kingston is again on the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's to-do list. Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, listed the dilapidated structure among renovation works for the city of Kingston. Mr. Williams was addressing a handing over ceremony at the Flag Circle in Kingston on Tuesday. He said the Ward Theatre Rehabilitation Project is being funded by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, as well as a donation of $10 million from the Tourism Minister, Edmund Bartlett. However, more funds are needed to complete the project.
In the seats for the Ward Theatre should arrive in the country before the end of November. And the carpet is I understand that they have already ordered the carpet for the Ward Theatre, and that is being manufactured as we speak. So it's money well spent. If you can afford to, we will be grateful if you could in developing your 2019-2020 budget, if you could look at the Ward Theatre project as for another donation.
Kingston Mayor also listed the Raytown Fishing Village for development. The KSAMC plans to install a boardwalk in the area.
We have asked from the KSAMC that they include in those works a boardwalk. And I must say that they have said to us that they have done so. And so a boardwalk along from the Raytown Fishing Village to the Bank of Jamaica is included in this.
The Jamaica Fire Brigade is to benefit from 2 new government contracts. At this week's post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday, Information Minister Senator Ruel Reid revealed that the first contract will provide new trucks.
Was awarded to J.R. Wellington Import-Export Corporation for an amount of $276,828,360 for the delivery of 4 pumper trucks for the Jamaica Fire Brigade Services multi-parish program.
It's not known as yet in which parishes or how the new trucks will be utilized. In addition to the trucks, a $1.2 million U.S. contract was awarded to Bell Safety Limited.
To supply firefighters protective clothing and self-contained breathing apparatus to Jamaica Fire Brigade, and these include the following: 350 firefighters protective clothing in the amount of US $833,037.33, and 99 self-contained breathing apparatus in the sum of US $437,165.78.
In international news, the United Kingdom Prime Minister Theresa May was plunged into a deep political crisis on Thursday as she was hit by a wave of resignations over her Brexit plan. The details from the CNN.
If we get behind a deal, we can bring our country back together and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. And Mr. Speaker, the British people want us to get this done and to get on with addressing the other issues they care about. Creating more good jobs in every part of the UK, doing more to help families with the cost of living, helping our NHS to provide first-class care and our schools to give every child a great start in life, and focusing every ounce of our energy on building a brighter future for our country. So, Mr. Speaker, the choice is clear. We can choose to leave with no deal, we can risk no Brexit at all, or we can choose... Or we can choose to unite and support the best deal that can be negotiated.
The withdrawal agreement is a leap in the dark, an ill-defined deal by a never-defined date. Yeah. There is no mention of the Prime Minister's favoured term, implementation period, anywhere in the 585 pages of this document.
And we go down to news and sports. TVJ Sports can report that the Veer technical teacher who was arrested and charged with assault occasioning bodily harm by the Clarendon police earlier this week has taken up bail and is back at the institution. Sashana Wellington, who was charged after allegedly beating a student athlete with a piece of PVC pipe on November 1, is booked to appear before the Clarendon Parish Court on November 23. The school board on Wednesday afternoon met with Principal of Vere Technical Antoinette Banton Ellis, but Chairman Henry Thomas says, or rather has declined to comment further on the matter. It is further understood that the school board, led by Thompson, is moving to set up a 3-member committee to deliberate on the matter as prescribed by Section 55 of the Education Regulations 1980, which deals with disciplinary offenses. TVJ Sports has also been informed that the board has already contacted both the teacher and the mother of the student athlete and requested written statements. According to the Education Act, the teacher has the right to be represented by an attorney at law. And that wraps up the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Please join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.